today's live stream, we are going to confront WP Eagle on his on becoming his own boss, and we're gonna have some entrepreneurial live chat and all that good stuff, and probably gonna hear Alex talking about some topics that usually doesn't talk on his YouTube channel, and that's gonna be kind of awesome and interesting. And if that's for you, then let's get into it. But first, we need to hear the Hustlers anthem. Let's go.
Yeah, I know sometimes it's hard when you get the feeling you just want to quit your job. We've all had that thought. This is what you want. Time to tune in. Hasta la vista, boss. Yeah, for my side hustlers who never stop. Quit your job and making your own profits. Become your own boss. Live life on your terms. Make it happen for real. This is what you deserve. Yeah. Hasta la vista, boss. Subscribe, have fun, and enjoy the ride. Let's go.
Hola, boss. What's going on? Adrian Diaz here with Hasta la Vista, boss, the place where ambitious people like you, my friend, here in the chat, or maybe on the replay of this video, or maybe on the Hasta la Vista, boss podcast, and Alex in here, we talk about how to create a side hustle, make it profitable, quit our job, and become our own bosses. I hope that's a good plan. Alex, welcome back to Hasta la Vista, boss. How's it going?
It's good. Thanks for having me. I love your tunes there at the beginning. The first one, the waiting one, as someone has said in the chat, I think it was Bradbury. Yeah. It's got a G-funk feel to it. Takes me back to Warren G and all those kind of guys.
Yeah, I'm an old
It's just
style.
amazing. I mean, if this side hustle thing doesn't work out, you can always, maybe start a rap career possibly. I don't know.
But listen, that's not my maybe music producer, because that's not my, that's actually is not my voice. I'm just kind of sing over it. Someone on Fiverr did it for me, and I gave them the topics and the a few lines and all that. And to be honest,
how much did you pay for that? How much was that?
40. I think it was $40 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to do one. I think I'm going to do my own rap in there. We'll have to see how that goes.
I'll share the link with the guy. I'm sure that if you guys go to the to my videos, to the uploads, and you see the anthem, Hustlers anthem, or you can just Google it, Hustlers anthem, best Hustlers anthem. That should be number one hit.
Okay.
Then you can find the link in there to the guy who did it for me, I think. if not, reach out to me and I share that with you. Before we move on, let me go to the chat and welcome all these beautiful people in here, Alex. We have Helen, we have J5, we have Justin, we have who else is in here? Recreational Combat, Lee, Phil, we have Jim, we have Emilia, we have so many beautiful people today. Steve, how's it going? Bradbury, Mo, Mohammed. Hello everybody. Listen, this hangout is because not most of you, but some of you asked for me to go live again with Alex, and instead of talking about websites and how to rank this and how to create content and all that, you want us to talk a little bit more about life topics, and that's something that I really enjoy. Talk about that. How about you, Alex? Do you enjoy that?
Yeah, definitely. We can't just talk about websites all the time. We've got to talk about something else.
Yeah, definitely. And to be honest, this topic came to me, like I keep saying this all the time, but it's so true in my case, at least, that this came very light for me in life to find out about financial topics and how do I say, making money and investing and all that kind of stuff. I never had that education within my family, so no one told me about how to manage my money. Just go and find a job and you're gonna be fine.
Well, I think that's normal. I think most people, I was the same. My parents would always just say, you're gonna work hard, you go to school, you go to college, you go to university, you get a job, and then you're successful. And the same at school. They don't really teach you anything about money. investing, what's an asset, what's a liability. They don't teach you any of that stuff. You're just being kind of programmed to go and work for someone and make someone else rich. It's a bit of a scam, really.
Yeah. Well, that's another level of scam. That's a multi-level at the top level.
I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, you have to learn this stuff from books and on the internet and other places. And a lot of people, when you talk to them, they'll say, "You're crazy. What are you doing? That's not how you be successful in life. You be successful by, building up a career and going to work for someone and work for a big company or a small company, whatever, but work your way up. And, when you hit 100 grand a year, whatever, you're doing quite well. But you still have to kind of give 70 to 80% of your time to someone else in order to achieve that, which wasn't working for me, really."
Well, I always knew that it's not gonna work for me, but I can't remember how all this started for me. Actually, I do remember now. It was I share this story every now and then when I go to another channel, and I talk about how I started. And it was my wife and I. We were just laying down in bed at night, before you go to sleep, and you chat about how the day was and all that. And she was pregnant. She was 7 months or something like that. And she said, "You know what? When the baby come, I don't want to go back to work." And I said, "Well, that's fine. That's great. But what you want to do? I mean, we can't live in London and be just only one a salary. It's very expensive in here." And she said, "Well, we should do this. We should do that. We should sell this, and we should try." And that's when I started to, then I find your channel, and I built my 2 first silly websites where I made like my first 2 sales on Amazon. And that's where this is interesting. I mean, I can do something with this.
Yeah. It kind of changes your way of thinking.
For sure.
I mean, affiliate marketing and all that stuff came quite late to me, but I knew, it's probably nearly 20 years ago now that I wanted to do something myself. And I've traditionally, I set up a traditional business, I should say. As I say, I was installing Wi-Fi. I've said this before. And I remember I set up the business, and on the first day, a client that was from my old company got in touch with me and placed an order for a new laser printer with me. And I just thought, okay, that's fine. That's great. It's going to work. And from there, it was a long journey. And I later discovered that even setting up your own business, like a traditional business like that, still doesn't give you the freedom that you need. Because, basically all I was doing was I was owning the job that I had before, but I also then had all the responsibility that my boss used to deal with, like taxes and accountants and all that other stuff that you have to deal with a business. Sure. So it actually became more stressful than a job, because I had to deal with clients. Clients would ring me up. They've got problems. I need to deal with it. I'm on my own. I've got no one that can help me. I've got to do my tax. I've got to, get sales. I've got to find leads. I've got to do everything. I've got to be everything in that business, not just the managing director. I've got to be the engineer, the salesman, the marketing manager. And I found that, if not more stressful than having a job. And it didn't give me the time and the money that I thought it would. My second business, which was the agency, did to a certain degree. It brought in a lot more money, but I was still tied to clients, and basically your clients then become your boss.
Yes.
They're the ones telling you what to do.
In a way, right?
So you're still not as free as you want. And at the end of the day, that's the reason why we do what we do, what we're trying to do. Is we want freedom, don't we? We want our time, and we want to have the money to be able to do that. None of this is really about the money, because once you get to a point with money, it's a bit like air. I think it was Dan Locke, that guy that saw us running airs. I'm going to quote him on this, but that's fine. He said money is like air. When you're in a room and you've got air and you're breathing, you don't even think about it, do you? You don't think about it. But when you haven't got any and you start, that's when you start worrying about it. Yeah. And I find out with money, once you get to a certain point and you're able to cover the bills, you can go to the supermarket, buy what you like, and you don't have to be flash or anything, but you're comfortable and you're able to just relax a little bit. That's what it's all about, because that then gives you the freedom that we all want, which allows us to be with our family, allows us to go traveling, allows us to enjoy our hobbies, whatever we want to do. And I think that's what it all comes down to. A lot of people, I think, get into it initially for the money, because they see people with Lamborghinis and big houses and private jets and all that. But actually, I don't think anyone really wants a private jet because, imagine the stress a private jet brings, or a stress a Lamborghini. I can't go up the shop in my Lamborghini. I can't park that up the supermarket at Sainsbury's.
Yeah.
So it adds an extra layer of stress, and I don't want stress. So
They'll nick it.
yeah, exactly. It's like driving around in a tuxedo or whatever, isn't it, all the time? It's not practical. So I don't think, I mean, they look good in face value, but actually we don't want that. We just want a bit of freedom. We want to, on a Monday morning, if we just want to go for a run or go for a walk or spend time with the family, we can do that because no one, not a client, not a boss, no one is telling us that we need to do something for them. We're in charge of our own destiny that day, and we're going to do what we want to do.
Exactly. J5 says here in the chat that the background looks ace.
Thank you. I'm just trying to adjust it because my head keeps, I think that's better. It's because I've got some dark stuff behind me.
I think it's because you're probably too close as well to it, maybe.
I don't have a green screen. It's just trying to do it, but it's fine. My hair's just kind of moving around.
If you stay still, then you're going to be fine.
Yeah, I won't move too much.
Can I welcome Chris as well from Niche Safari? How's it going, Chris? Carlitos as well. Carl Broadband. How's it going, brother? There was here, Bradbury says, school taught me to find greenhouses on an ordinary survey map.
Audience, I think he means. Or you, audience survey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very useful skill. Very useful.
Phil says that I'm with you on that. I left the corporate bullshit life. Probably I should not swear now anymore because the YouTube channel now is monetized. So maybe I should I should be more aware.
Keep it clean. Keep it clean. Yeah.
Yeah. But he says going self-employed was the best idea ever. But I don't know if you guys are aware of or at least if you know about it's in one of these books by Kiyosaki, and he's talking about the quadrant of
the cash flow quadrant.
That's the one. So most of us, we are in the let me see if I find it quickly, if I share the screen. Obviously, if you watch this on the if you listen to this on the podcast, you can't see it, but it's just a quadrant where you cash flow. Let me see, cash flow quadrant.
I might even be able to remember what it is.
It's easy.
Four squares.
Yeah.
You start off as an employee, top one, yeah, employee.
Yeah.
And then you go self-employed.
Oops, not to the video.
Self-employed, and then you go business owner, and then it's investor.
That's it. Yeah. There you go. So
yeah, I remember I read pretty much all of the Kiyosaki books when I used to work in London on the train. I had a lot of time to read going in and out of London. So yeah, I read all of them. And
that's awesome.
To be fair, you don't need a massive book because the message is quite simple. That,
yeah,
it's true. That's the message. Those four things, and it's working your way all the way around to investor.
That is, it's kind of like a game, right? Like Monopoly, if you want, where you just I'm just trying to get this image bigger if I can.
It's not going to go any bigger, is it?
Just like that, yeah. But anyway, yeah, I think you can see it on the screen. So it's like 4 ways to produce income. Most of us were in this one here, employee, where we have a job. We have a fixed salary. There's no control over what we can do with the money, or how much money we can make, or how much tax we can pay. There's zero control. But you have security, though. You have security that, you have your money coming in every month. When you go on holidays, you have when you come back from holidays, the money's gonna be in your bank account again, and all that cool stuff. Alex was talking about this.
I would say though, just to add on that, it's a false sense of security.
Oh yeah.
Because you could go in tomorrow and your boss could say, Adrian, actually we found a much better crane driver, so we don't need you anymore.
For sure.
Not that there is a better crane driver.
But I'm in this quadrant as well.
Yeah.
I'm in the self-employed quadrant where I am the boss, if you want, but I'm not the boss really, because I have a client, and just like you said, the client tomorrow is gonna say, Adrian, tomorrow is the last day of the contract. Thank you very much for your job, amazing, but that's it. You need to go and find something else. But for most of us in this quadrant here, money is time. Time is money, right?
Yeah.
The more we work, the more money we make. But At the same time, we can't really scale because there's only 24 hours in a day, right?
And there's only you. Yeah.
And there's only me, exactly. And that's when you have to move then on into the business owner, where this is kind of what we're trying to, all of us do here. We're trying to build these websites, but then you have some writers, you have some editors, and you're just going to be on the top of
because nowadays you can build a business with freelancers. You don't need to take on full-time staff or anything like that. You can build a great team of freelancers.
Yeah, exactly. And then you go to the investor, like Alex was saying. This is where we should all aim to be, because when you're an investor, you're not in any business. You just wait for your money to come into your bank account, whilst we go, in Spain and sipping mojitos or something.
Exactly. Yeah, and it doesn't require much of your time.
Yep,
that's the key thing.
Let me quickly go to the chat. Helen was saying earlier that she discovered affiliate marketing when she was 56. Now, that's courageous. I like that, Helen. I don't see many people, on that age saying, oh, I want to do something different. I want to, no, usually they say, no, that thing is too difficult. Technology is not for me or whatever. They don't like that. By the way, can I ask everybody, bosses, if you enjoyed this content, to give us a thumbs up? That would be appreciated. Thank you very much. We have 26 amazing viewers, and we have about 9 likes. That helps with the algorithm, apparently, so thank you. Not apparently, I know it helps. I'm an SEO. Adrian, Danila, welcome, brother. How's it going? Let's see if we have any question from the chat, Alex. If you see any question, feel free to answer it, Alex.
Okay.
There's the chat moves so fast. What's going on? Just exploded here. Oof.
J5 says, until my affiliate commissions build up more, I'm still keeping freelance jobs going. Money is money. Exactly. I mean, you can do a bit of both, can't you? You can have that overlap until you get your commissions or your kind of more residual income to a point where you don't have to worry so much about the freelance jobs. But I still enjoy working with clients. But I've kind of got to a point now where I'm only working with the clients that I like and I enjoy working with,
and as many as you
that
want,
pay well,
right?
and that value what I do. And I've gone, try to get rid of those clients that you sometimes get that don't want to pay you what you're worth and just give you a load of grief and hassle and stress.
That's true.
Mark
says,
sorry, go on.
Mark says in the chat, you're investing in real estate, which is good passive income. We have a property and make $1,200 a month net. That's awesome, Mark. And
wow, that must be some property.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the US, Mark, if I'm not mistaken. He's in the US, and when they rent properties, they are kind of big. They're not like here in London where I live. I mean, this one is big because it's an older property, but usually the new properties, they are so small. But they're so expensive as well. So congrats on that, Mark. It's about diversification as well. The more income streams we have, the more secure as well we are in case one goes to not to swear, okay, goes bad. You have the other one that can keep you safe a little bit. Chris Nish Safari says that he's between S and B. He needs to build his systems. Yep, that's it, brother. By the way, let's see, Alex, if there's anybody brave enough to jump with us in the call and share maybe a minute or two or on their opinion, or maybe if they have a question specifically for you, that would be awesome. Tortoise Cashflow, I know who you are because I saw you on Amelia's live stream. Is the minimalist Cashflow, I think you used to be. And he says, or she, I'm not 100% sure if you're he or she, I like to invest in real estate one day too. For now, I'm just investing in dividend stocks. There you go, Alex. There's so many smart people in this chat.
Dividend stocks, yeah, that's good. I mean, that's fine. I mean, property there's still a little overhead. We've got a property just up the road, a flat that we rent out, and generally it's fine. You don't have to worry about it. But we recently had a change of tenants, and we had to go in, and it was in a bit of a state. You know, it needed quite a bit of work, and we did quite a bit ourselves, cleaning and replacing ovens and stuff that was broken. So, and even with, you know, stocks and stuff, there's still a little bit of input you have to have. I've got a bit of investment in Bitcoin. A few of you know about that, which today spiked massively because PayPal have just announced that they're going to start enabling people to buy Bitcoin with PayPal and use Bitcoin through PayPal. So my advice would be to buy Bitcoin yesterday, but unfortunately,
do you know, you want me to tell you a story about Bitcoin?
Go on then.
So this, I know you have kids. So when your kids are gonna be maybe age 10 to 15 maybe, and if you have kids in the chat, the same thing applies. Usually nowadays the kids are so into technology and they understand technology much better than many of us now. So the story is that a few years ago when my stepson was, I think he was 12 years old. I can't remember exactly, but he was very, very young. He came to me with a few papers. He said that I didn't even look at them, and I of course I feel bad about that. But he was only 12, right? He was only 12.
Yeah. What does he know?
Yeah. So he came to me and said, "Hey, Adrian, listen, I have this, and I heard about this Bitcoin, and I've read about it, and all that. And would you give me £100 to put in to buy a few Bitcoins?" And he said, I don't remember any of this, but he says that I just laughed at him, and I laughed at him at a point where the Bitcoin was maybe 50 cents or something like that, one Bitcoin. So if I would have listened to him and give him £100 to buy those Bitcoins,
he'd be a millionaire now. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. This show would not be called Hasta la Vista Boss.
It would be crypto investment news.
Exactly, or something like that. Or listen to
just
your kids.
Life from a yacht.
Yeah. Or something like that.
I mean, and then that's very speculative, and that was some time ago. And of course, you know, we could all dream of investing in all sorts of things if we just got the timing right. And a lot of success does come down to timing, that you're in the right place at the right time and you're able to make the right decisions at that time. But I was introduced to Bitcoin by a friend of mine who actually runs a podcast now about Bitcoin. It's called What Bitcoin Did. He's also got a new podcast called Defiance. He's living off podcasts. He's doing really well. And he got me into Bitcoin basically because he had a bit of a drug problem and he was using Bitcoin to buy stuff from the Silk Road when that was a thing. Yeah. But then he kind of stopped all that because he had a lot going on in his life, but he was left with these Bitcoins and he kind of forgot about them. And then they started to go up and he got interested in them, and he kind of said, you need to get some Bitcoin. And that was when it was around £2,000 a coin. So I got in then. I have bought and sold obviously along the way, but yeah, it's about to hit £10,000 a coin right now. So even if you didn't have to get in when it was 50 cents a coin, you could still get in when it's £1,000 a coin, £2,000, £4,000 a coin.
Yeah.
I still think that Bitcoin will hit £100,000 a coin.
You think so?
Yeah. So even if you went in now at 10,000, and of course you don't need to buy a whole coin. Bitcoin is broken down to a decimal point with 10 decimal places, I think. So you can buy like £10 of Bitcoin. And I'm still confident if you bought £10 of Bitcoin today, in maybe 2 years, possibly 5 years, that £10 will be worth £100. So
you think it's gonna worth £100? Is there any? Is there any reason that you think that?
Yeah. I think especially with what's going on at the moment, I'm no expert in this, but at the moment, the economy is in a bad state. And at the moment, to keep things going, governments like the US government and our government are printing money to keep things going, which is ultimately going to end with our money being worth less. So we're going to end up suffering because our pounds and our dollars are not going to be able to buy as much as they used to. Yeah. Whereas things like gold continues to go up in value, and things like Bitcoin continue to go up in value, because the difference between cash or fiat money, as it's called, and Bitcoin and gold is that they can keep printing more of the fiat money, which devalues it. With Bitcoin and gold, you can't print it, you can't make it. There's only so much gold in the ground, There's only so many Bitcoins that can be mined. So they have an inherent value. So they can only go up in value.
Interesting.
And I think as people's fiat starts to lose value because of inflation and because of this way they keep printing money, I think a lot of wealthy people are going to use Bitcoin, probably not as a currency to go and buy stuff, but as a way to store your wealth. Because if you store it in a standard bank account as cash, as fiat, that's just going to go down in value because the government keep printing more.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I think maybe not as a currency, but as a way to store wealth. Bitcoin and gold are probably the future.
Chris says in
you
the
heard
chat.
It here first. But that's not investment advice, by the way, not investment advice.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what Chris says here. To quickly say this disclaimer: this is for entertainment purposes only, and does not constitute professional investment advice. Thanks for that, Chris.
Buy Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, we have Mohammed here as well. He says, I invest in Forex and commodities for more than 5 years. It's very risky. These markets, also cryptocurrencies. So we see that, we usually only talk about websites, and we think that's the only thing we do. And it's awesome to see, I mean, all these guys here in the chat, they're people who come to your streams every day, right? And it's awesome to see that people think outside, outside the box, if you want, and think, try to put their money in different baskets, as you'd say. So
I think so, definitely.
Yeah, so that's,
and it's quite exciting. It's quite exciting when it goes up and down. It's a bit of fun.
Oh yes.
I mean, if you want to get involved, the easiest place to buy some is somewhere like Coinbase, which is like one of the mainstream. You can buy some with your debit card. I think you can even buy some with your credit card if you want to be particularly risky. And they'll hold it for you. Although personally, I would get what's called a hardware wallet, which is a little USB stick that you can put in, and then you can store your Bitcoin. It's not actually on that USB stick, but that keeps your secret keys. The one problem with Bitcoin is it is a little bit techie, a little bit confusing. And I think when someone figures out a way, maybe like PayPal, where it's a lot more accessible to the public and people like that, then again, I think the value will go up as more people get involved.
And the thing is as well, it's not regulated at the moment, so that's the risky part of it, because it goes up and then all of a sudden the guys out there at the top say, take it out, boom, switch it off.
Yeah, that is the problem. There's a lot of whales, like 90% of the Bitcoins, this is just a figure off the top of my head, I don't know the exact stats, but a lot of the Bitcoins are held by just a few people. So they're able to buy and sell and influence the price.
Well, guess what? That's with everything in life, the money in the world, it's in the hands of a few people.
Just a couple of big guys, and they pull the strings.
Yeah.
Torta says, why would people store their wealth in some code instead of physical assets like real estate and businesses? Because, this is my answer, is that physical assets like real estate and businesses, they do have an overhead. You do need to look after those things. You do need to have managers, or you need to manage them yourself. With something like Bitcoin or gold, you just hold it. We don't have to worry about it. It's just, you just hold it.
That's it. Yeah, just put it in a bank somewhere. I mean, that's probably need to pay as well for that, to keep it safe and all that. The gold, I mean.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
or just put it under your bed or somewhere.
But yeah, Chris says, did you guys hear about the Canadian CEO who died with 145 million in Bitcoin, but he never told his wife? Oh God, the code to access it. Oh my goodness, that wife.
Yeah, that's actually quite a serious point though, because a lot of us are building stuff and doing things, and we probably don't go into maybe all the details with our partners. But especially if you are investing in things, even like stocks, shares, Bitcoin, gold, whatever you're investing in,
maybe leave a will, right?
Probably a good idea to either make a will, or at the very least write down on a bit of paper that you store with your documents somewhere safely in your house, just so that if the worst happens to you, your family can at least get hold of your Bitcoins.
That's it.
It'd be gutting.
Oh man, yeah.
If they can,
I mean, that's I don't know the situation of that family, but if they need that money, that's gonna be quite difficult situation there. Hey, there's the link.
Things like leaving your email password or something, just so that people can get into your email if you pass. I think I think solicitors and lawyers actually do a digital will now, where you can just give them all your digital information, and
Ooh.
they'll keep hold of it, and then they'll share it with your family if you do croak it.
Carl says that is something I have thought of. If you own a large website and you die, what would happen to it? It has crossed my mind. Well, just like Alex said, get an insurance company or something like that, and a lawyer, and make a will and everything.
Or at the very least, just document it on a bit of paper that's stored safely in your house, so that your wife can find it if the worst happens.
We never know.
Say
right?
it's making money from this. The logins are this. And maybe then put Phil's email address or Phil's phone number and say, ring Phil, he'll help you out with it.
Exactly. Hey, I just dropped the link again to the Zoom call if you want to join us and ask a question or participate. I know that you guys said that some of you are in pajamas, some of you are in underwear or something. It doesn't matter. Look, we are only from here up.
Yeah, I'm not wearing anything below the waist.
Look, I have my, I still in my working trousers. So let me. So if you guys don't want to join, at least drop a question in there, anything about entrepreneurship, and let's keep the conversation going. But I have a few questions here that I was thinking about at work, Alex.
Yeah, go for it.
Let me ask you about, for example, this is gonna be kind of a big shift, but let's talk about bad moments. Okay. So tell me about that day where you were so demotivated that you just wanted to quit. You said, you know what, F this. I don't want to carry on. Tell me what happened that day for you to say that, and then how you dealt with it.
That happens every other day.
Welcome to my club.
Yeah. No, seriously, I think that is an issue when you work for yourself, because at the end of the day, you've only got yourself to motivate yourself. That makes sense. There's no boss or anyone saying, you got to do this, got to do that. So you have to figure out what you got to do, and you got to say, I got to do this. Mm-hmm. And you got to do that every day. The one thing for me at the moment that can do that is if I watch too many other YouTubers that are in a similar space to me or doing similar things, because I don't know what it is. It seems to happen a lot to me recently, maybe more than it used to. Whereas I watch them and I just see that they're being successful, they're creating good content, and I then think, why am I even bothering? These guys are much better than me. They're growing faster than me. They're getting more subscribers than me. They get more comments on their videos. They get more views, and I find that sometimes that can spiral then, and you can start to feel quite down and just like, I'm not doing it. What's the point? But then on the flip side, I can go in and I can read some of my comments from some of the very nice people that are in the chat right now, and other people on the channel, and then that can turn me back around. Someone will say, this video is fantastic, it's really helped me out, or love what you're doing, those kind of positive comments, and that can push you. But I find that the whole thing is a complete roller coaster of highs and lows on a kind of day by day basis.
Yeah, that's thanks for sharing that, by the way. And I feel that as well. I feel that the problem in my case, right? In my case, because I'm doing exactly the same thing. So I'm looking at all these guys here. Many of you guys in the chat, you have YouTube channels. And I will look at Carl. He posts a video, boom, 500 views. What the hell happened? Then I post a video and say 50 views after 3 days. And then you, like you said, you go, oh, but it's not. And then when I chill out, and then I say, okay, it doesn't really matter to me, because that's my lane. This is the lane that I want to go into. I want to make the videos that I like, and now I'm doing a little bit of personal finance videos, and I want to make.
I like them. They're good.
Thanks. And I want to make some property investment videos as well, because I'm just a few steps to buy my second property as an investment. So I want to share that as well. But
I think comparing yourself with anybody in any kind of aspect of life is a bad thing. And I do it. My wife does it as well. When it comes to the kids, we look at other parents, we go, they're doing so much better job with the kids. Their kids are so much better, they're so much more well behaved, and they all that kind of stuff. And it can be bad for your psyche. And it's because you're different to everyone else. Everyone's different, so it's very difficult. It's like comparing apples and oranges. You can't do it.
And it simply like I was thinking about this, like as I was getting into the house. If only one person, like I did the live stream, the income reports live stream at the beginning of the month, like I do every month, and someone said, Timan, I don't know if you're in the chat, brother, say hello, said, hey, can you share that spreadsheet with us, because it's awesome and I would love to use it for my own purpose. And that just made my day. That was enough for me to say it was worth it to make that video, because that person got something of value from it. And
exactly. If you even just help one person, that does make it worth it.
I think that's how we should look at these things. When we try to compare each other to bigger bloggers, I like Graham Stefan. And I like, of course, all of us here. I like WP Ego and everybody in the chat. But others that I didn't have on the channel yet, like Meet Kevin. I love that dude. The way he makes videos, it's impressive. And have you seen the amount of money they're making just from the app?
No.
It's impressive. Make millions per month. Per month.
What's the channel?
Meet Kevin.
Meet Kevin.
Yeah, Meet Kevin and Graham Stefan. Both they're talking about. Meet Kevin talks about more about property investment and stocks and dividends, I guess. And Graham.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
And Graham talks more about personal finance, credit cards, and stuff like that. But both of them are making amazing videos. I like much more Meet Kevin, simply because the way he expresses himself. He has a very nice way to talk to the camera. He's a bit more silly on camera, which I like that. So yeah, I mean, and then when I look at their videos, I say, oh my goodness, look at the money they're making. Look how many views they have.
Yeah, but the guy's nearly on 1 million subscribers. He's gonna be doing well.
Yeah,
and the videos are very well produced, and
but
don't compare yourself.
Started like that. You know what I mean? They haven't started like that. So, but yeah, that was great. Thanks for sharing that. Let me go quickly to the chat and see if we have any questions in here from the guys in the chat. Or
some people saying some very nice things, which I really appreciate.
Yes.
But also, who was it? Mohammed said, my bad moment when Google releases the Medic update and it crashes my health website from 750,000 visitors per month down to 180,000 visitors per month.
Sorry, bro.
Yeah, that happens. And I think all of us that own sites have that when you log into analytics, which I'd say don't do too often because the graph does do that. And that can, again, your mood will follow the graph. If it's going up, you'll start to feel good. If it's going down, you'll start to feel bad. And that can then tilt you for the rest of the day. But you just got to try and stay strong and try and keep that confidence in yourself that you can turn it around, or that you're going to move on to something else. You can start something, you can do something, and you're going to be fine.
Yeah,
but that can be hard, especially when your site is plummeting and you've put a lot of work into it.
That's it. Kind of what like this song says. I don't know if you can hear it.
Stop. Don't stop.
That's one of my favorite songs. So don't stop, whatever you do, right? I don't know if you see any question. Again, feel free. Chris says here, Chris Nish Safari says, my motivation is chatting with you all online and my mastermind group and listening to podcasts. Thanks for sharing that, Chris. Now you're over 1,000 subs. Carl says your channel will grow faster. I don't know. And to be honest,
it will.
Yeah, and to be honest, I was thinking about this today, about this topic, comparing myself to Alex, to Graham Stefan, to Chris Safari, or any of you guys here. With Emilia, she's almost 3,000. But I was thinking about this. I don't think I'm in a rush, to be honest. I just want to create videos that I love to create, and that I think, from my perspective, are going to be helpful because they are from my own experience. So, either building websites, are there maybe a tutorial about SEO topics or whatever that is. And I hope, that's going to help someone. So I'm not kind of
yeah,
in any
and
rush to
it's
grow.
completely a snowball effect.
Yeah.
The first 1,000 subscribers will be the hardest subscribers and the slowest, and take a long time. Although then you do hear people that they set up a channel and then within a week they're already up to 10,000 subs, but that doesn't happen to most people.
Yeah, for sure. Tortoise Cashflow says, that's how I felt. My site was losing like 10% traffic for a couple of months in a row. I felt bad. Then this month it's up 20 to 30% and feels good. I haven't added that much content this month. Here's another thing, guys, with the algorithms and you guys losing traffic without any reason. If you have a manual penalty, then that's a different story. But for you to lose traffic for no other reason than just Google tweaking stuff. Now we're getting into a little bit of SEO.
That's fine.
If you lose traffic just because Google is tweaking a little bit here, a little bit there, maybe they adjust the dial here, maybe they say, okay, let's dial up a little bit the backlinks, or maybe this or maybe that. Next time they do it, you're gonna go up again, because whatever they're tweaking now, they're gonna retweak it in a few months.
They're always tweaking. Things are always going to go up and down.
Exactly. So don't quit on those projects that for whatever reason go down. Just leave them there. Keep an eye on them and carry on working on whatever other projects you might have.
Yeah, I mean, I sometimes try and put a positive spin when things happen, which is hard sometimes. But for example, if one of my sites is in decline, which Best Roof Box is at the moment a little bit, I kind of look at that and go, okay, well, that's something interesting that I can create content for YouTube about, that I think that my viewers will find interesting. It could be happening to other people's sites. So I can make a video about it. We can talk about the decline, about why it's happening, what we're going to do about it. And that's going to be a good piece of content for my YouTube channel. So I always think that if bad things happen to my sites that I'm sharing on YouTube, then that's fine, because that's a story to tell, and that's content for me to create for YouTube.
Yeah.
Of course, not everyone has a YouTube channel, but there may be other positive things that they can kind of get out of it.
Thanks for stopping by, Carlitos. He needs to put the kids to bed. You are awesome, bro. Take care, and we catch up later.
Yeah, Carl is an inspiration to many, for sure.
For sure. And you know what's funny? I was thinking about this today again. You know what's funny? That the first day I posted my first video on Hasta La Vista Boss YouTube channel, Carl saw that video and he left a comment and said, I can't believe it. This guy is working so many hours. And then he has time to do the websites and create videos and all that. I need to create my channel. And then he created his channel.
So you inspired him.
Yeah, can you believe it? And now he's way ahead of me, and I'm so happy for. I mean, that makes me happy, So someone to tell you, hey, you inspire me, and now they are ahead of you. That's just amazing. Makes me so happy.
To be fair, I don't know how you do it either. You are completely inspirational and full of energy, and I'm sure it will pay off, because I know I couldn't do a full day's work for someone like you do and then come back and do my own stuff. That's hard. I mean, I struggle to do my own stuff when I've got all day to do it. So to do your stuff in the evenings and weekends, full credit to you on that, because
thank you.
That's some serious hustle there.
Thanks for that. Just Samson, hey, how's it going, brother? Thanks for being here. Hey, next time you go to Pat Flynn, can you please tell him that I invite him to Hasta La Vista Boss? Please. I'm trying to get all the people who are, going to Pat, and Pat is familiar with them, to kind of make pressure on him to come on the show.
I love Pat. But again, he's
man.
another one. When I watch, I just think, wow, this is so much better than what I'm doing.
No, to
He's
be
got
honest,
the camera angles. He's got the
yeah,
production.
yeah. But to be honest, when I watch Pat, I don't feel bad at all because he's such an inspiration.
Yeah,
I don't
and
see
he's
him
he's
as a
still streaming every
competition.
day, is he?
Yeah,
Is he still
yeah.
streaming every day?
He's
That's
still
amazing.
doing it. Yeah.
That's really cool. There was a quick one from Recreational Combat who says, anybody think that in-game footage of paintball, airsoft, and laser tape are good for YouTube? It is, because I've watched some of that stuff myself. I'm not even into airsoft, but there is some channels that are already on YouTube that are doing really well. Of like, they've got cameras on the gun, they've got head cameras, and it makes some amazing videos. And yeah, definitely sort of videos that could go viral as well. Really good content. I was also going to ask Recreational Combat. I never sent you the logo that we did last night. If you want it, let me know. we quickly designed him a new logo live on stream in Canva.
Oh,
It
nice.
didn't come out too bad.
Nice. Pat is so great. His podcast is so useful. Yes, Pat is like he's been an inspiration for so many years for so many people. But again, if you watch his videos, just go to his YouTube channel and watch his latest videos if they're still available. Sorry, not the latest, but the first videos. You'll see how crappy they are, and you'll see that this camera that I have here, it's like 1 million times better than the one he had when he started. So let me ask another question, Alex. Overthinking.
Okay.
Overthinking. Now this one, I have trouble with this one sometime, and I'm not 100% sure why it happens, but it happens. So let's say I'm trying to build this website, and I start to think about the structure of the website. I start to think about the keywords, and maybe I should choose these keywords. I should not choose this keyword. Which one should I go? And then you start thinking and overthink, and you stop. You completely stop, and you don't do anything about that project.
Yeah,
does this happen to you?
That is a problem. Yeah, it happens all the time, especially when I'm like trying to think of, or I want to make a video. So I'll have an idea in my head. Okay, I'm going to make a video about this. And then I'll think, okay, so what do I want to say in the intro? What kind of screen recordings? How am I going to edit it? Should I do it this way? Should I do it that way? And again, yeah, you keep thinking, and then you just think, okay, well, maybe it's not a good idea. Maybe I can't do this. And what about this? And always going to be too much work. And yeah, none of that stuff is helpful. Generally, I think if you've got an idea for something, it's best just to kind of start it, take action, and then it will start to kind of reveal itself as you work on it. Well, it does for me. So then, when I'm editing a video, I'll start to get ideas. Oh, I could do that, or this looks good, that doesn't look good, and it will kind of adapt. And I've also found that when it comes to making videos, and probably the same when creating content or whatever, that I'll do an edit and I'll finish the video, and then I will leave it. Like I normally do it quite a lot in the evening, so then I'll leave it till the next morning, and then I'll watch it. And by that time, I'll often have thought, well, I could do that a little bit different, or maybe I should add that. That'd be really cool. And it kind of adds an extra layer to it. And yeah, try not to think about stuff too much is definitely a good advice, because it doesn't get you anywhere, and you end up just kind of going around in circles and just losing the kind of focus that you need.
Right. And yeah, talking about I was yesterday. I finished editing the video that I posted today with the spreadsheet at 1 a.m, and then I was sleeping at 2 a.m, and then wake up at 4:30 to go to work.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's serious.
crazy. Now I really need a good night's sleep today. But I'm enjoying this so much. This is what happens with me. When I enjoy doing something so much, my body doesn't respond to tiredness.
No, you get that adrenaline to keep you going.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe as soon as I switch off the live stream, I'm gonna drop dead here.
You need some sleep. Get a bed.
Snoring until the plasterboard fall down or something. Aaron, how's it going, Aaron? Hello, boss and Igler. Don Waters, hello, guys. Do you think a niche website focused on weather situation would do well? Although this is not about websites. If you want to take a minute to answer it, Alex, it's up to you, brother, if you want to do that.
Focus on weather stations. I don't know. Sounds a bit niche. It does sound too niche, maybe. I would just go onto Google, have a look, see how many searches are suggested around weather stations. Are people asking lots of questions about weather stations? I'm getting the feeling that there probably aren't. They might be. And if they are, then yeah, there's potential. I don't know.
Jim,
I don't know, that, yeah. I don't
sorry. I mean, yeah, let me go to Jim question. Jim says, I have a camera that does live stream in 360. That would be ace for, it's not a question. It's just a statement. Sorry about that. But going back to Don's question, because I had this in the back of my mind as I was reading the question, are you talking about weather stations or just a website about weather? You know, like,
I think he means those things that you can get for your house. I've got one downstairs, in fact, where you put a little sensor outside and you have something inside and it tells you the pressure, the temperature, it can predict the weather, all that kind of stuff. I think that's what he's talking about.
Oh, I see. Okay. All righty.
You need to, the first article is, what is a weather station?
Yeah, there you go. For people like Adrian who doesn't know what the hell that is.
So Glenn, who's called Envious in the chat,
yeah,
he says he's got 20 sites because he never overthinks anything. I can believe that. So he's one of them guys that just kind of has an idea for a site or for something and then just does it.
Boom.
And then let it develop and work on it over time, which is good. But I am also guilty of that. Sometimes I'll just have a great idea and I'll just do it. I'll register a domain name, put a site up or whatever. But then I'll often like forget about it or not work on it and it'll just do nothing. So it's very well starting stuff, but you got to kind of follow it through, haven't you?
Where is I lost the chat. Well, I lost the chat. I don't know where I was. If I miss if you guys had a question and I missed it, sometimes it doesn't show up on the chat on my screen, so apologize for that. Just do it again. Recreational Combat says here, I don't know how you do it, Adrian. Neither do I. I think it's like Alex was saying, it's probably the adrenaline. I like to do this stuff and I'm so pumped up just by thinking about it, waking up tomorrow in the morning, go to work, and I know that I'm going to come back at night and I'm going to be here at the computer. That I think that just fuels me up so much. I'm kind of a little bit of a little Gary V, if you want. Aaron says, was it challenging transitioning from your business being service-based to just affiliate content?
It wasn't for me because my service business got investment from an investor that ultimately didn't get on with me and I didn't get on with them. We were coming from two very different places in terms of where we thought the company needed to be and needed to go. So he ultimately bought me out of my company. So that then gave me that transition time where I had some money, then gave me some time, and I kind of did a bit of I did a bit of consultancy, which was the services. And I was able to spend time on my YouTube and affiliate stuff because I had that buffer. But yeah, it would be tricky because if you've got a big service business with lots of clients, you need to do something with them. Probably selling it would be a good thing, or maybe referring the clients to someone that you can trust. And I don't know. But yeah, for me, I was okay because I got bought out of my company.
Awesome. This question to Alex, why you don't add information article to Best Roof Box? It will be a big shift to the website. Good question. A lot of people, you're not the first person to say that. When I had Income School on to review my site, that was what they said, have more informational articles. Don't write about the best roof box for an Audi A3. You should write about the 10 best, footpaths in the local area, or the 10 best places that you can go on holiday. And then you can mention that you might need a roof box. But I understand that might bring me a bit more traffic, which in turn I could monetize with the Zoic or AdSense or whatever. But for me, I have just focused on those buyer keywords. So people that are looking to buy a roof box for a particular car. And I found that that's worked well
in terms of my Amazon commissions, because people are ready to buy. They've got their credit card in hand. They're ready to go to Amazon and buy something, which is why I think that site earns really well, even though the traffic isn't that big. So I understand where you're coming from, that maybe I'd get a lot more traffic, but I don't think that I would sell as many roof boxes. However, I am just about to switch the site over to Ezoic, so the focus may become more onto just getting visits, just to get ad revenue. But because it was predominantly an affiliate site, I wanted to go for those kind of more commercial, buyer-focused articles.
That'll be interesting to see what's gonna happen. Philly says small manageable tasks help me get things going. That's true. Don Water says you have a strong, super strong work ethic, and thanks for taking my question. My pleasure. Twas Cashflow says you should do a site about weather and start with. He's answering Don question. That's awesome there. Question from Bradbury. Anybody ever used Flippa, and how believable are the sales on there? Looking today, and some of the earnings for the sites looked unbelievable. Well, that's because probably they are unbelievable. Just be careful with that where you buy your websites.
Yeah, I've used Flippa before, and yeah, you got to do your due diligence. You've got to just be very careful, ask lots of questions, get access to the analytics if you can. Although a lot of them are verified. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you are taking a bit of a risk.
Sure thing.
With sites on Flippa, but then you're taking a risk with everything you do, really. So
yeah,
you can just do as much, much checking as you can, and hope for the best.
The thing that last time I heard about this was I don't know, maybe a year ago, that there's some scammers in there, so be careful.
Yeah, of course.
Envias says I do try to put 10 articles on and then before I leave it. He's probably talking about what you were saying earlier about
about
the
all of
websites.
these 20 sites. Yeah.
It's kind of my split testing to see what potential.
Yeah, I think that's good, because if you've got a number of sites going, you do a little bit of work, see which one seems to be moving, and then focus on that.
Phil says WP Ego and Hasta la Vista Boss. Do you have an exit strategy? Go ahead
really.
If you have one.
I do on on my affiliate sites. I've said before that I am ultimately looking to sell it, and I think that's probably why we create a lot of affiliate sites. I mean, some of us want to keep hold of them for passive income and residual income, but yeah, ultimately I want to sell it. With YouTube, I'm not quite sure how anyone would exit, because the main component of our channels is us. So if we were to leave, then there's probably not much left, is there? So I don't know. It's a good question. I should probably think about it a little bit more, because I want to retire next year.
Oh, nice.
No, that's not going to happen.
Vince is here. Hello, guys. What's going on, Vince? Thanks for being here. Now, my exit is, I don't think I will ever completely exit from doing internet marketing, and because I kind of enjoy it. So I think that my vision, my big vision, is to have passive income, as passive as it can be, from online marketing, whatever I'll be doing in the future. So maybe this YouTube channel, maybe it's gonna grow and it's gonna make $1 million per month. I don't know. The websites, merchandise, or maybe other products that I'm going to create in the future, and take that money and put it into a little bit more tangible assets. Like Alex was saying earlier, gold, for example, it could be properties, which I'm already doing. And that's kind of my vision for the future, for the next 20 years, I would say. But I don't think I will ever just quit and I just go and live in one of my properties in Spain and, swim all day and take sun all day. I don't think
you wouldn't. You'd want to work. You'd want to do something. Creation.
Just
and
something,
creating
just something.
things.
And I
is
think
what
I
makes you feel good. You'd be just drinking, but you'd die within. I would anyway. I'd be dead within a year because I'd just drink beer all day and sit out in the sun, and either the beer or the sun would kill me in the end.
yeah, that and the thing is, you can do it for maybe a month, two, but then I'm sure you get bored. And I enjoy doing these videos and talk to people. So maybe even if I'm not gonna do anything, maybe I just do videos and I talk to people all day long.
Yeah, why not? That's a bit of fun.
Yeah, I mean,
I think you have to.
kind of what's his name, Joe Rogan. Yeah, I mean, he used to be in this what's the fighting league in the US. I can't remember.
The UFC, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and then now that's what he does, podcasting and talk to people. And by the way, very well. He's doing it very well.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like that, and I think that's fine. You're going to need to do something, and yeah.
Sure.
It's really the reason that going to Spain is nice at the moment and having a beer and sitting on the beach is because it's contrasted with doing work.
Exactly.
You take out the work, then the beer just doesn't taste the same.
Exactly. That's so true. Jim says here, talking about the when you left your company and all that, he said that when you got bought out of your company, how did you cope with it? Like, I had a company, Jim says, I had a company go down, and it was almost like a death in the family.
It's a good question. I did feel really down at the time. I felt down, and I also felt optimistic. It was a kind of a mixed bag of things, because I felt sad because of the company that I'd grown with my partner, my business partner. We'd grown it up to something to be quite special, and we were having a great time. We were making loads of money. We had some good clients. We were really friendly with Google. We got to go to lots of trips, lots of events. The digital community in London at the time was really buzzy. There was loads of other cool companies and lots of parties, lots of drinking, and lots of fun. And I was kind of sad that was going. But at the time that I got bought out and the time I left my company, I wasn't happy with it. I was going into London a lot more than I wanted to go in. I was going in with the commuters, which is certainly something I didn't want to do, doing like a 9 to 5 on my own company. And I wasn't enjoying that. So I was quite happy really that I wasn't going to have to do that anymore. But yeah, also sad that my company that I'd built up was going to be taken off me, which then ultimately failed. So yeah, but then I kind of look where we are now, and I think that maybe the future in the company was quite limited anyway, because of the way that things change and stuff. Just on a side note, I don't know if anyone else seen these ads. There's a couple of people that do ads, probably in front of my videos, where they're basically selling training on how to set up an agency. Like they're saying, hey, I've got this guy, he was a waiter and he set up an agency and now he's earning, 10,000 a month.
What kind of agency?
Well, they obviously are training people like waiters and people like, who do other jobs to go and find clients and manage their Facebook ads or their AdWords ads. And
right.
And then charge them 1,000 a month, which, yeah, you can do that, but it's not as easy as that. Of course, there's so many skills you need to be able to. You need to be able to sell. You need to be able to meet people. You need to be able to. Those kind of training guys.
There's so many other things that are involved in.
They make me cross because they make it sound so easy.
Yes,
just set up an agency. It's easy.
Yes.
10,000 a month. You go up to the local plumber, whatever. You say, hey, plumber, I'm going to get you leads off Facebook. You pay me some money, I'll get you leads every day. And it's just not like that.
It's not like that at all. And setting up an agency is one thing, but then you need to learn Google ads. Yeah, Facebook, then you need to learn Facebook. Then you need to learn SEO. Then you
landing pages, conversion, landing pages, how to write copy, how to do all that stuff, and
there's so many things.
And how to get your own clients, how to manage your clients, how to keep them happy, how to send them.
Exactly. So
there's so many of those people on YouTube that if it's not that, it's affiliate marketing or whatever, and they just simplify it and they sell this false dream, which I think ultimately turns people off what we do, because it is a viable business, but it's not easy, and there's a lot to do and there's a lot to learn, and it can't just be magicked up with a £200 course, because at the end of the day, the guys that are selling you these courses, why aren't they running an agency then? If it's so easy, why are you selling courses on YouTube if it's that easy?
Exactly. It's like one of those guys that I mentioned to you earlier, Meet Kevin, he has a few courses as well about investing, about buying properties, about becoming an estate agent. The thing about that is that he is all of those things. So he is an estate agent, licensed estate agent. He
Yeah.
sell houses and he buy houses for himself and for customers that come to, hey, Kevin, do you have a property? I'm looking for a property in this area. So the guy is like we say, he's preaching. He's doing what he's preaching, right?
Yeah, he's making his main money from what he talks about, not from his training
Yeah.
course.
But
You'd hope.
the thing is that this happens with some people. What's gonna happen? I don't know. People will judge them for this, but I don't think it's fair for you to judge them on this particular point, because what happens, let's say with these guys, with Meet Kevin and Graham Stefan, whatever, they used to be estate agents and they make, let's say, $500,000 per year in commissions by selling houses. But now, because they create these great videos on YouTube and they make 1 million per month.
Yeah,
Or,
they think, why do I need to do the estate agent? That sounds like hard work. I just do YouTube.
Yeah, but that's what he said. I remember Meet Kevin in one of his latest videos, that he's trying now to get a little bit out of being an estate agent and just make videos and
Yeah, well, that's understandable.
right. So makes quite
There's
a
an
lot
interesting
of sense.
chat actually in the chat between Chris and Recreational Combat about income school.
Ooh,
That Recreational Combat said that he's found some of the income school videos seem to motivate him. I understand what you're saying there. That's happened to me as well. And I don't know, obviously, that's not their intention. But for example, one example that springs to mind is they'll say something like, they'll do a video, they'll say, we're not doing Amazon affiliate anymore. Amazon, complete waste of time. They cut the commission. They're a horrible company. You need to take that off your site. For someone that's invested themselves into creating an Amazon affiliate website, that can just be like a smack in the face. You can just think, oh God, well, I've put so much time and effort in, and now they're telling me I've got to do something else. I mean, what am I going to, that's how I feel. Maybe that's why you felt demotivated. And they do that quite a lot. It's just kind of the way they come across. Sometimes I think they can make stuff sound so easy and so obvious. You need to be doing it this way. And, oh, you're doing it that way. And that's just how sometimes people come across. And
yeah.
I don't know, your guy that you had on the other week, the SEO guy, I love that guy. But again, the way he came across, it was just like, well, if you're not doing schema, then you're not doing it right. And well, if you're not moving the needle, you're inbound links, you're doing it wrong. And I get it. That's the kind of guy he is. And there are people like that, and that's fine. But you got to just think, I'm doing what I'm doing, and I know what I'm doing, and it's right. And just because they're saying that that's wrong,
Yeah.
just kind of have that belief in yourself and try not to let those things demotivate you.
Sure
They're doing
thing.
their thing and it's working for them. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing in the industry, and especially in the SEO industry, where I've been involved a little bit. Just, I mean, not at a higher level, but just helping other SEOs. There's so much bitching between them, like oh, you do this and you have no idea what you're doing. How do you know this? How do you know that? And at the end of the day, it comes down to testing. Show me the results. What do you have? And when you change something on a website and it goes up or it goes down, how did you know what actually moved the needle? And guys like Clint, the guy who was on
Clint, that was it.
yeah, he's doing this like for breakfast. Tests all day long. He has access to loads of other SEOs and tools and all that, and they're very smart. They know, not like other guys that they build a few websites and they know, I know how to build websites. I know what's working and what's not working. It's a little bit more than
J5 says
that.
what works for one person might not work for another. And the thing with people like Clint, and I said this on your stream, their approach is very different to what my approach would be. So, I know a lot of SEO guys and people that when they build a website, they're not thinking about, building content for their visitors. Well, maybe they are to a certain degree, but they're ultimately thinking, how am I going to beat Google? How am I going to kind of manipulate Google? What techniques am I going to use? you know, they hang out in the Black Hat forums, that kind of stuff, and they use techniques that do work. Of course they work.
Yeah.
But they're not the way I would do it. I mean, for example, things like PBNs, which a lot of people use, the private blog networks. Yeah, that's fine. They kind of work right now, but I'm sure that in the future they're not going to work as well. And if you're an SEO person and you hang out in the forums all the time and you keep on top of what Google are doing and you're swapping techniques, and he mentioned mastermind groups, which again is, I think, very valuable. So he's got his groups of people which are also other expert SEOs, and they're just planning to beat Google, and they're going to keep ahead of Google, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But to other people, that can feel overwhelming, and that can feel demotivating, because you think, okay, well, I need to do that, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not in a mastermind group. How am I going to get in with the Black Hat forum people? I mean, but then you just got to think, well, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it a different way. And each to their own, as J5 says, you know, just do what you want to do.
Do what works.
What works for you is going to be different to someone else.
Yeah. Alrighty. We have here in the chat, Steve says, do you remember all those frequent deals on Warrior Forum that was all going to make us rich every week? Well, now you have them on Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah. Is Warrior Forum still a thing? I don't know. I used to hang out on there quite a bit.
Yeah, probably for the most darkest SEOs.
They're still
Feed.
on there, yeah.
Feed, how's it going, brother? Feed from Argentina says here, what kind of results did you get with the roof box YouTube videos? Are you still trying to develop the process for creating them, or have you tried creating this type of videos for other niche sites?
I get good results there, but they are the most popular sort of videos I do, especially earnings reports, that kind of thing. I do need to develop the process. I am doing videos around my second site, which is the wheelbarrow site, although I haven't got so much to talk about, although I'm going to try and do some stuff on that tomorrow on my stream, which will be tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, especially, as I say, people love to see the progress of the site. People watch my updates every month. They do better than, for example, when I do a video on, I don't know, how to add a table to your WordPress site or that kind of stuff. They do way better than those kind of videos.
See. Phil says here in the chat, number one rule of SEO, build a site for your visitors, not for search engines. That's all you have to do. End of. That's great.
That's good, yeah. But a lot of the Black Hat guys would not agree with you on that one.
No, I don't agree with that one either. No, but first, for you to be in front of the visitors, you have to be on point with SEO. So you have to understand how to get there first.
Yeah, there's definitely there's a definite techie side of SEO that does make a difference. However good your content is, there's a lot of technical stuff that you can do to make it reach more people.
Put it in front of the right people, right? But you know, this comes to that oversimplifying things, like you were saying earlier. You know, like the income school guys and other people say, "Oh no, just create content, you're gonna be fine."
Yeah.
You know, that's oversimplified. There's so much more than that. But I agree that once you rank, you definitely have to have good content for your visitors.
Yeah, I think you've got a troll in chat.
Do I?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, diggity. So
see ya.
How do you deal with this? Remove?
Yeah.
All right. I don't have moderators yet, so I don't know how to do that anyway. How do I do this?
You can just click on the three little dots near his name, and I'll report him now.
Report.
And then you can remove him from the. You can put him in timeout, or you can.
Wait, this is a good sign, isn't it? I mean, if you start having trolls, that means I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
What
you should do is make people like Helen your moderator, and that's what I do, and then she takes care of them. Diggity, I mean, what's going on in your life that you come on a YouTube live stream and do that? I mean, I had a live stream. Some of the regulars will know this. It was a good year or so back, and the chat got flooded with loads of trolls, and they were just being really horrible, and it got completely spun me off. I'm still quite new to live streaming, and yeah. Since then, I've got a good army of moderators.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Because you're trying to stream and then you're trying to do the chat, and you're normally like behind on the chat anyway, aren't you, when you're streaming?
Yeah.
And so someone's doing this trolling and you're not even seeing it till like 2 minutes later, and by then they've said a whole load of horrible stuff.
Man, if you guys, if anybody wants to be a helpful moderator, let me know and I can, add moderator there. That will help me, because I didn't see this. Thanks for letting me know, Alex. I was watching other things. Okay, so we're going in a little bit into SEO here. Big mistake to use PBNs or buying links. I'm not going to get into that because I don't agree with that. But hey, Michelle's here. Michelle says, good morning. Wow, my two favorites together. Thanks for that, Michelle. I hope you're okay. If you have questions about entrepreneurship or anything like that, drop them in the comments in the box, and we're gonna address that. I'm sorry that with all this spam in here, I can't see what you guys if you asked anything or something like that. Let me add this again here. If anybody want to to join us to ask a question. Yeah. So I just made moderator Michelle. Thanks for that. I mean, if you can stay awake. Kieran, I'm gonna put volunteer as well here as moderator. Thanks guys. Okay. So let me ask you another question from my questions, Alex.
Okay.
Before we move on, actually, it's been 1 hour and 17 minutes. What do you reckon? I'm enjoying this very much.
For another 10 minutes or so, maybe.
All right, another 10 minutes.
You need to go to bed soon, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's yeah. Don't remind me. Here's one more question from my phone here. Laziness. It's not necessarily a question, but it's a topic that I want to kind of talk a little bit about. Laziness. First, on a scale to 0 to 10, how lazy do you consider yourself? In terms
8.
of making, in terms of taking action.
Compared to you, I'm very lazy. I don't do 10-hour days and then do this stuff. I don't know if you mean procrastination, which I guess is the same but different.
It's not procrastination. No, I think it's actually, or is it procrastination? Is laziness, for example, when you know that you want to do, let's say you want to build a side hustle, and we're talking about here making websites. That's one of the way to build a side hustle. You know what to do because you watched the amazing tutorials that Alex has on his channel, and now you're not taking action. Why?
Yeah, that's procrastination.
Is it?
It could be called laziness. Yeah, there's very similar. It's just human. It's just we're humans, and at the end of the day, we tend to do things that we enjoy, and so, for example, playing video games will give you that kind of enjoyment very quickly. Even looking at social media will. So you tend to, end of the day, we're still just animals, aren't we? And we've got a monkey brain, really. It will be drawn to those things that are easy to give you that enjoyment. Yeah. Now, when you create a website and you do build something or create something, a YouTube video, a bit of content, a website, that does give you a fantastic feeling of enjoyment, and you feel great and all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't come easy, does it? Because you've got to create a website, or you've got to do a whole load of work. Whereas, you know, you can just go and play a video game, or you can look at your phone, or you can watch some YouTube videos, and you'll get a similar feeling straight away. So I think a lot of it is hardwired into our brains anyway, not to do the hard stuff and to do the easier stuff to get our enjoyment. But kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier, that you just got to stop overthinking it, and you've just got to start it. And just by maybe breaking it down into small pieces would work well. So you want to create a website, you've got an idea for a domain name, then all you got to do, just say to yourself, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to register a domain name and buy some hosting. Maybe I'll install WordPress. And what I find is that once I do that, I will then do more than I thought I was going to do. So I'll then get the theme installed. I might add a logo. And then you can start to see it, and then you'll start to feel good because you're creating something, and that kind of pushes you forward. So yeah, it's a killer. And I have this still daily when I've got a whole list of things I want to do, videos I want to make, sites I want to start, things I want to do. And I don't do them because something else distracts me. I watch YouTube.
How many hours YouTube you watch?
A lot more than I should. And the problem with it is that obviously I come to YouTube because I want to go into the creator studio, check my comments, check the analytics, all that kind of stuff. But before I get there, I'm always given the YouTube homepage, and that knows what I want to watch. It knows what videos. I'll just see the thumbnail, I'll see the title, and I'll have to watch it.
Yeah.
And then before I know it, there's like an hour gone, and I still haven't looked at my creator studio. So I actually find it's better to maybe use the app, because the creator studio app on your phone doesn't take you to the YouTube homepage. It just takes you straight into your stats and into your comments.
That's awesome. Gabriel del Portal, ¿qué pasa, hermano? He says, you guys are awesome. I appreciate the raw conversation. We appreciate you guys for being here and for all the comments and, the participation, because that's what makes this community awesome. And that's why I actually wanted very badly to have Alex here today, because he doesn't get this chance to talk about this kind of stuff on his channel.
No, I probably should do a stream more on this, but yeah, generally we're talking the techie stuff and SEO and WordPress and that kind of stuff.
Let me go up a little bit on the chat here, and Helen says, my wife isn't moderating my time here. No, because I think she's fried, so I think she fall asleep. J5 says, I can get lazy at times if I'm not in the mood or had a bad day. Yeah, especially like, for example, now it should be usually for any other person, you come after 15 hours, 16 hours outside, working and commuting and all that. You don't want to be here another hour, 2 hours working on a website or making videos like I'm doing now. But I think you really have to kind of try to see the vision, try to visualize in your mind where you want to be, because that's what helps me. Because every time I close my eyes, I actually with my eyes open with my eyes open, I can see what I want to do and where I want to be. And for me to achieve that, I need to do all this. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's another question here from Richard. It says, how long have you been awake today? Well, I woke up at 5:30, so in a few hours it's gonna be 24 hours. Where is the Helen says that procrastination is her biggest enemy. I guess that's true for all of us, Helen.
Yeah. One way I kind of think about it, and this is a technique that I've just kind of started using recently, is that I've noticed that if I have a day where I have been procrastinating and I've not done what I wanted to do, or I've not achieved anything, by the time I get to evening, I start to feel terrible. I'm like, ugh, like the whole day's been a waste. And yeah, I just kind of start hating myself a bit and just feel generally a bit down. Whereas if I have done something and created something, whether it be publish a video, do a stream, add content to a site, just make something and do something. If then the evening comes around and I feel fantastic, I feel like, yeah, it's been a good day, I've done something, and as I say, it makes the beer taste better, and because you've earned it. So
Yeah.
I try, and if I'm feeling down, I just kind of visualize, okay, what's the end of the day going to look like if I carry on just watching videos on YouTube, or if I actually do what I wanted to do? How's that look in a few hours time? And that will generally steer me to actually doing something, because I know that I want to feel good later. I don't know. There's all sorts of different techniques you can use to get over procrastination, but yeah, it's a killer and it gets everyone for sure.
And I
don't know. I don't know if lazy is the right word, because you're certainly not lazy. You've done a lot of work.
Yeah.
There's lazy people that do sit around and just drink beer all day and claim money from the government or whatever.
Yeah.
That's probably lazy.
Not me.
Not writing an article because you've done a 12-hour shift is probably not lazy.
Yeah. And to be honest, another good thing that helps me be motivated and so high energy is being part of a community like this community. It's awesome because you see others moving, some of us moving faster, some of them moving a little bit slower, but they're moving, so you don't want to be left behind. That's kind of another psychology trick that it can help you. You don't want to be left behind, so you're gonna take action. If you see, let's take the smaller YouTubers in here, Chris, who else was in here? Was Carl in here as well?
He was, yeah.
Yeah. So if you see them moving, well, you say, hell, I don't want to be left behind. I want to kind of compete with these guys, and that's helpful as well.
Kind of going back to what we said earlier, that can work two ways. You can either think that and think, yeah, I want to keep up, or you can think, what's the point? They're so much better than me.
Yeah.
I might as well just jack that whole thing in. So you've got to be careful when you're comparing, comparing stuff to other people. Sometimes either compare it with yourself. How am I going to feel later, or am I going to get left behind by Carl? I guess.
All right, let me take three more questions from the chat, and I think we can wrap it up so we can, rest a little bit and ready to get in the rat wheel in a few hours. Back in the rat wheel. Envia says, where you are now is based on your decisions 5 years ago. Where you will be in 5 years will be based on your decisions today. 6 hours on YouTube a day. That's awesome, Envias. That's kind of very true. Where you are now is based on what you decided to do 5 years ago. So I agree with that. That's very nicely put. This being a cool stream, J5 says, and there was someone else here. Helen says, I appreciate the time you guys put in these streams. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your awesome and kind words. Mohammed says, hasta is this Spanish? Yes, hasta la vista, it means see you.
So we see you.
Yeah, see you when I see you, or see you never. Sometimes, depending on the context. In this context, is see you never, boss. Right? Like,
what about when Arnie said it in Terminator 2?
Is the same
hasta
thing.
La vista, baby.
Hasta la vista, baby. Yeah, it's the same thing. Like I'll never see you again, or something like that. I think that's the same context. Chris Nish Safari says, Alex, if you looked at your videos from 1 or 2 years ago, would you disagree with many of the things you said back then? Because I disagree with things I said on my YouTube channel 4 months ago.
I don't know. I have to go back and see. I think the thing is, most of my videos back then were just kind of more tutorials. They weren't very affiliate driven. They were all about just WordPress stuff. So, apart from the technology's changed a bit, I probably would agree with most of it, because it's just like how to build a website or how to add a form and all that boring stuff. Get to the chopper. Now they're all doing Arnie impressions.
Yeah, there's more people coming here to troll. Thank you very much for my awesome.
What was J Dub saying? I didn't even get to see them ones.
Yeah. Thanks, my awesome moderators. Tell them hasta la vista, baby.
Yeah, hasta la vista, troll.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Funny enough, I have a design with troll like a boss.
Ah.
I love you all and happy for everybody that is doing well or just starting too. And if you guys have any last question for Alex for this stream, I enjoyed it very much. There's like another 10-15 questions I have here on my phone, but you know, there's not enough time. Let me just quickly check the chat for any last questions. Who's your daddy and what does he do?
That's Tiani. Who is your daddy and what does he do? That's from a kindergarten cop.
Quick, to the chopper! To the chopper, quick!
To the chop. Get down.
Get down! It's so funny.
I won't sing tonight. There was a little bit of singing last night on the stream.
Yeah?
I won't do any singing.
There you go. I put the music.
No.
Let's see what music is. Oh, it's still the Don't Stop music.
No, I was doing a little jingle. I think I need some jingles to break up the stream. So like when we do different things, maybe not my tone deaf singing is probably not what we need.
I looked into that, especially when you do live stream by yourself and there's no one, like we are here with two people, back and forth. You could get a little bit boring. So, those effects, I think is going to help keep people engaged. Chris says, I feel comparing yourself to others is hard because progress comes in waves when building websites. I just think my wave will come in a few months if I hustle today. That's awesome, brother. That's awesome.
Chris is doing fantastic work. By the way, Chris is on with me next week.
Ooh, I can't wait.
So be sure to check that. I think Chris is doing fantastically good. And
very smart guy.
Yeah. Just killing it.
Gabriel says, agree with the community aspect. I use an accountability group to try and simulate the feel. Yeah, that. Everybody should be in a community or accountability group or mastermind group or whatever. You should, if you're doing something that's online or if you offline, doesn't matter. Could be properties. There's mastermind groups for property investors as well. Whatever you do, I think it's extremely, extremely important to be part of a community because people understand you. Like now, if I go and talk to my wife about my websites, she's not going to understand what I'm saying and she's not going to be very helpful. You know what I mean? Whereas if you are part of a community that is doing the same thing that you're trying to do, then that's going to be much helpful.
Yeah, you do need someone.
Okay.
Or a group of people.
I suggest you made Alex some jingles, Adrian.
I'll
I'll
hook me up with your Fiverr guy.
Oh yeah, I'll send you the link if if it's not there. Below average blogger. Hey, how's it going, brother? Welcome. Okay then, thanks for the stream, Alex. Chris says thanks for the stream, guys. Good to see Alex in different context and to hear his thoughts on different things.
Thank you.
That's for sure. That was very, very enjoyable. Maybe we can do this at some other point because I have another 15 question, Alex.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'll do it again in another month or something.
Sure thing.
Someone asked if I'm streaming tomorrow. Yeah, I'm hoping to do my afternoon stream. It starts at 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
Normally go for 2 hours.
Alrighty.
It's not as busy as the other one. And I kind of just chilling out. I say tomorrow, I think I'm going to try and do some outreach live, which could go horribly wrong, but we'll see.
Interesting. Okay, then, is there anything that you would like to add, Alex? Like, I don't know, for people, since the topic is about, entrepreneurial life, maybe you want to add something about mindset.
I think mindset is the most important thing when it comes to being an entrepreneur, when it comes to doing your own thing. All of the people that are in the chat right now and watching this stream, who watch you, who watch me, who watch videos about this stuff, you probably got to think that most people don't watch YouTube to watch this stuff. They watch the cat videos, they watch the gaming videos, they watch all the other stuff, the music videos. But if you're watching this stuff, that means that your mindset is probably halfway there, if not even further, and that you have already made that decision that you're going to change your life, you're going to do something for yourself, and you're already on the right path. And you know, you're miles ahead of probably 95% of other people that aren't doing what you're doing right now. So you just got to keep going. And as you say, having a community or being part of a group can really help keep that momentum going, because it, as we talked about tonight, it can be difficult. And as I say, I give you full credit how you keep going and how you keep putting the hours in the day job and in the side stuff, because most people can't do that and they won't do that.
Sure thing. Thanks for that, Alex. Now I want to thank everybody for stopping by tonight and for the awesome conversation here. Phil, J5, Helen, Chris, Michelle, Envias. I'm just reading the last people who posted comments. Bradbury, Recreational Combat, Steve, Gabriel, Del Monte, Del Portal. I was about to say Del Monte. Mohamed and everybody, thanks again for stopping by, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode by the look of it. Don't forget that you can listen to this if you can't watch it. There's a podcast. If you just Google it, Hasta La Vista Boss podcast, you should find it. It's everywhere. Google podcast, iPhone. So not iPhone, iPad, or no, Apple podcast. It's everywhere. Podcast, yeah, you can find it anywhere. So you can listen to this again. And again, thanks everybody. Thanks, Alex. And I'll see you maybe in your stream tomorrow or on Facebook.
I'll see you soon. Yeah, we'll see you soon. But yeah, thanks everyone. It's been a great chat, great group of people. And yeah, thanks for all the questions. And thanks for having me on. I really enjoyed it.
For sure, we can do this again. In the meantime, I'm gonna play the Hustlers Anthem again, so you can stay motivated and high energy like myself. And remember, stay focused, because we're going to get rid of that boss. All right, thanks everybody. Bye.
Hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista.
Yeah, I know sometimes it's hard when you get the feeling you just want to quit your job. We've all had that thought. This is what you want. Time to tune in. Hasta la vista, boss. Yeah, for my side hustlers who never stop. Quit your job and making your own profits. Become your own boss. Live life on your terms. Make it happen for real. This is what you deserve. Yeah. Hasta la vista, boss. Subscribe, have fun, and enjoy the ride. Let's go.